welcome to Parenting on the Go. I'm Sheena Monnin, and joining me today is Judy Lipson of Spiral Wisdom LLC. Judy is a licensed professional counselor and educational strategist. Judy, thanks for being here. Let's talk a little bit today about a group of clients that you see called sensitives. Is it true that the highly sensitive child is born with a nervous system that is very in tune to everything going on around them?
Yes, Sheena, and thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk about this topic. I've been seeing a significantly greater number of kids and young adults and older people as well, I guess, who I have come to the term sensitives. I don't know if I'm the first one, because I see us as being so highly attuned to our surroundings. So the best way of understanding this is to look at the five senses. These are kids who are highly attuned to everything that they are visually seeing. They walk into a room and without trying, they take in everything. Auditorily, they're overly sensitive. That's kind of a judgment call, but they're very sensitive to sounds that the rest of us don't have trouble with, or may even be hearing things that we don't hear. They're very sensitive to fragrances, chemical smells. Taste and textures in the mouth is something that typically only the parents recognize. And then tactily, those labels in the back of the clothes, belts, socks, shoes, these are kids who want to avoid all that stuff. And then I realized if they're highly attuned to the five senses, what about that sixth sense of intuition and being aware of the energy around us? And many of these kids are empaths. They are feeling and taking in the emotions of all the people around them.
Wow, it sounds like it can be very overwhelming. Why is it important to identify them as sensitives instead of possibly some other health issue?
So a lot of these kids often end up with diagnoses of anxiety. Some are seen as ADHD. Frequently they have autism. But you don't have to be autistic in order to be a sensitive. There is this large continuum. And I think it's good to look at the idea of sensitivities because it takes us to the root of what's really going on here. These are kids who are so sensitive to their surroundings that it creates anxiety. It feels like there's all this tension and movement in their bodies. And many times I see ADHD kids who are really sensitive kids, and if we can tone down the sensitivities around them, we also tone down their inner tumult.
Yes, absolutely, and that sounds like it's something that is very important to do. So how specifically is this treated?
A lot of times kids still do need medications and therapy and some of the more traditional routes. But in addition, and sometimes instead of, one of the main things we can do is get rid of fluorescent lighting. It's very harsh on the eyes. It creates light sensitivity, excuse me, and oftentimes problems with binocularity. And actually binocularity can be separate from light sensitivity. It's the ability of the eyes to work together. It's a visual motor, neurovisual situation. And so kids with those difficulties can look anxious, can look ADHD. Get rid of fluorescence, that helps a lot. Provide explicit instruction. These kids frequently don't know how to navigate the world of communication and social situation. They just want to know the rules. Just tell me what's going on here, what does it mean, how do I do it? So explicit is great. Visuals, role playing, and so forth. Understand the difference between a meltdown and a tantrum. A meltdown is sensory overload. These kids just can't take it anymore, and they are exploding or becoming so internal. They're hiding.
Yeah.
And recognizing that a lot of these kids have fine motor difficulties, not just the visual motor, but fine motor. They don't like to write. It's hard. They sometimes have challenges in their hands that we don't see. It's very, very small. So all of these things can add up, and these are things we can address.
Absolutely. For those watching who are saying, wow, this is related to someone in my life, or I need more information, where can they go to find that relevant information?
Well, I hope people will come visit my website, spiralwisdom.net. Additionally, people can check out Elaine Aaron, who has written about highly sensitive people. Susie Miller has written a wonderful blog called Awesomeism. There's a great emotions person, Carla McLaren. There are a lot of people out there.
Wow, it's exciting. Thank you so much for introducing this fascinating topic to us and stopping by the studio today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Sheena. This was great. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Parenting on the Go. If you would like to look up more helpful parenting tips, you can visit the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website at wbyouthassistance.org.